Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is Thursday, December 8th, 2022. Thank you for joining us for this evening's Licensing Commission meeting. My name is Marnie McAlpine. I am joined this evening by fellow commissioners Mike McAteer and Alexandria Christmas, along with the licensing administrator Naomi Lebron. To start things off this evening, we would like to get an adoption of the minutes from the November 10th, 2022 Chelsea Licensing Commission meeting.
I motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next up, if we could get a clerk's update from Naomi.
I would like to ask for a vote for the New Year's Eve hours up to 2 a.m.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and just an update on the ABCC correspondence of the 2023 holiday calendar that the ABCC sends out. That will be sent out with all the licenses that will be approved. And then I also have the calendar 22 ABCC, just to let the off-premise licensees, to remind them that they cannot sell beverages on Christmas Day, Sunday, December 25th, and on-premise licensees cannot sell alcoholic beverages until noon on Christmas Day, Sunday, December 25th.
Other than those comments that you wanted to make, were there any changes to those calendars of what they're allowed to do on the holidays between last year's dates and this year's dates?
No. No, they all stay the same.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Next on the agenda, we have a public hearing to consider an amusement and entertainment license application for a disc jockey for Oakwood Tavern, LLC, DBA Tambo 22 at 22 Adams Street, Chelsea, Mass. If we could have you approach the microphone, please make sure anybody speaking this evening approaches the microphone and speaks clearly. If you could state your name and your reason for applying for this change.
Yes, hello. My name is Taylor Cochran, and we are seeking a disc jockey or DJ for Tambo 22, simply just to have an occasional DJ night. We work with DJ Eduardo Chacon, who is very familiar in the city of Chelsea. And we've had a few DJ nights already with a granted one-day license from the city. Each one has gone very well, and our customers actually look to make reservations as they're leaving that day to the next one, which we don't, have planned because we don't have it on our license. So we'd like to just have, we're thinking like once a month, on a Friday. Our hours are, we don't open past 11. Normally we close even before then, so it's not like an all-night type of party. It's more just an atmosphere type of music for our diners. It's nothing like crazy that we're looking for. So
I've been there on one of those nights, so I see that it is more of an atmosphere sort of a thing.
Yeah.
It's not
a dancing. There's no dancing involved. Everybody's seated at the tables. So.
Would anybody from the public like to speak on the matter? I see nobody looking to speak. Anybody from the police department that would like to speak on the matter? Chief Houghton?
Good evening. I didn't realize they had one-day licenses, and I frequent the place. The place is run properly. I don't believe we ever got a neighborhood complaint from it, so I would say to grant it based on their location and the hours of operation.
Wonderful. Fellow commissioners?
Does the speakers go outside too?
I'm sorry?
Are the speakers outside, or is this all indoor?
Right now indoor. We did have one in the summer that was outdoor during the day, and the speakers weren't super loud. We didn't have any complaints or anything like that. So.
I attended one that was outside on the patio, and it was atmosphere. It wasn't like it was like some loud, when people hear DJ, I think they're thinking like they went to a party, there's loud music, and that's not at all what I experienced on the occasion that I went.
I have no comment. I think it's a great idea.
Anything else, Mike?
No, that's it.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the change.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
So
you.
granted. You're welcome. Next on the agenda, we have a public hearing to consider to amend the recreational marijuana establishment license by adding medical marijuana for Jolo Khan, LLC, DBA Harbor House Collective at 80 Eastern Avenue, Chelsea, Mass. Is there somebody here this evening to speak on their behalf? If you could step up to the microphone.
Good evening. My name is Richard Sue. I'm one of the co-founders of Harbor House Collective and currently the Chief Compliance Officer. We are here petitioning to add medical marijuana to our permit, or rather our license, mainly because we do want to expand our reach, I guess, in terms of the type of customer that we can accept at our facility, as well as be able to provide a medical and educational benefit on top of our advertising and how we market our products.
Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak on the matter? Chief Houghton?
Can I ask a question? Of the other marijuana places, do they have, I thought it was legally to have both. Is this just an amendment, a change of their license to grant medical plus recreational? Is that what this is?
Yes.
Do other locations have both?
Not in
So-
Chelsea. Other places do, but not in Chelsea.
So here, so far, everybody's only recreational?
Brookline, they have both, but here they don't.
And medical came before recreational, so I don't think there would be an issue. And we've had no issues at the location on Eastern Ave. And my other question is this, do they have to go before any other, are we the final granting authority here, the licensing?
So CCC already spoke to you, or did you already get approved?
We currently have an application pending with the CCC. We've already gone through a few rounds of revision with them, so they are actively reviewing it. We do anticipate to receive some sort of a final decision from them optimistically in February.
And another question, just for me, the medical is a higher THC level or a potential higher level of, like, will you be growing it? I know you have a grow facility and everything. Is
Correct. So nothing actually changes for us operationally. What you're speaking of is our edibles. They are able to have a higher dosage limit
Okay.
for specifically medical patients, but we are still held to a very low limit when it comes to the recreationally dosed.
And how would the identification, like, or the process work between me walking in to buy regular edibles and someone with a medical marijuana? Like, how is there an identification check? Is there a log? How is that?
Yes, sir. So we actually, by CCC regulation, have to delineate a specific points of sale for medical patients only. And so that's where those products are only stored, so they won't be commingled or mistaken with recreational products for the other turnstiles. And then upon entrance, the medical patients do additionally have to furnish their medical registration card in addition to their photo ID as well.
Okay, that was my only questions. I have no other issues. Thank you.
Those were all very good questions. Fellow commissioners?
No, that's everything.
I am curious, how you said you store them differently from the recreational?
Sorry.
You store them differently than the recreational?
Yes, we just can't store them together on the same shelf, so we are going to have a separate line with its own storage, which is the same storage being used for recreational at the moment. We do have 9 points of sale, and currently we aren't using all of them, so we definitely have enough storage space that we currently have to make that separation.
But nothing changes, like the safeguarding, like, how it's brought to the facility?
No, absolutely nothing changes,
Okay.
other than just how we keep them separate and non-commingled at our store.
Does anyone monitor if he's going to be the first location that has the medical marijuana? So I'm kind of curious, like, if there's any monitoring that happens? Like, Do you have someone who looks over to make sure that it's within the guidelines of the medical marijuana license?
Yes, so every single one of our products is tested by the CCC regulation, and so when they are specific, or rather different doses, they actually carry completely differently colored tags that are used to track and trace these products.
Okay.
So the recreational products, they typically carry a blue tag on them, and then the medical products, which have that higher dose, they carry an orange tag. So it is, from a visual standpoint and from our organization standpoint, very separate.
And then you have the staff training for that as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I have no comments. Thank you.
I was pleased with your questions because I don't know much about those licenses.
Yeah, same. So,
I believe we have the right to inspections as you do as well. Obviously, we're well-versed in alcohol inspections. The cannabis industry is not, but there's a state agency that also does inspections for them, which I'm sure they've been visited by the cannabis. We've had no issues with any of the locations. I did not know they were the first to look for the dual-type license, but medical came first, so I think it's probably an easier, segue into their business. But if you want, we could also do inspections once in a while, just like we do for everybody, other business, which I think we should for all of them, just do periodic inspections.
If you don't mind my asking, because I wasn't on the board when the licenses were approved initially, how long have you been in operation with your current license?
The current license actually just got renewed, I believe, at the end of September. And then we did have that issued the September prior to that as well. So we're about, I'd say, 14 months into both of those licenses.
And from your perspective, how are things going?
So cultivation for us, we started growing plants in May of 2021. So we're about a year and a half into that now, and things are definitely starting to normalize for us now that the building's kind of broken in. We're definitely, hitting our pace as far as the volume we see in and out. We haven't seen any traffic or any real log jams anywhere or bottlenecks in our process. Medical marijuana places are typically required to be vertically integrated, meaning they have the grow, they have the process, they have the dispensary as well. And so we built like that off the start, so this is actually going to be a fairly easy transition for us.
Makes sense.
okay.
Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to
Okay.
approve.
To approve, okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you for answering our questions.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that. Next up, we have a vote on the renewals. Can we do these as one?
Yeah, one at a time.
I meant as a batch, or do you need them one at a time?
I guess you can do it in a batch.
You guys good for a batch?
Only the ones that are done, the ones
Of
that
course. So I am looking to make a motion for those renewals that have been completed for liquor licenses, common vicular licenses, amusement and entertainment licenses, Class 1, 2, and 3 licenses, and renewals of the rooming house licenses. Can I get a second?
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our next meeting, there is a correction to what is listed on our agenda this evening. Our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, January 12th, 2023. Meeting adjourned.
Thanks.